All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back. We're back with another video. This time it is, well, recent finds, not so recent finds, and some albums that I had set aside with the intention of showing, but haven't gotten around to showing these albums. So let's get to it. And I thought I'd try from a different angle this time. So first off, we're going to feature a Toronto jazz band called Bad Bad Not Good. Gotta love the name of the band, and this is their third album, which came out in 2014. This is a band I didn't know very much about at all. First heard about them from Fred on his Big Star 1000 YouTube channel, and he raved about the band and the album, and I think it was this particular album that was one of his top 5 or top 10 albums of that year. And then just recently, Jeff at Speaker's Corner talked about this album. So I thought, gosh, I'm really going to have to see if I can locate this album. And it's funny when you got a band like this out of Toronto. Toronto's only about 2 hours from where I live. And, I didn't know anything about this band. It's funny when bands are so close that you've never heard about. And it takes someone living in Australia to tell you about the band initially. And it is just interesting that way. So this is it's a double album. They are a trio of young guys, and it's very bass driven. But it's drums, bass, and electric piano and keyboards. But they also augment the sound with saxophone, electric guitar, and trumpet with three other performers. But you hear a lot of potential with this band. I think this is really interesting stuff. It's worth checking out this band. And this is a double album. And some interesting issues with the pressing. Now, the albums sound great. They play well. Very plain labeling. And I don't know if this was independently, I'm assuming this is independently pressed because I'm not seeing any major label. It seems to be on the Innovative Leisure label. But the labeling for side 3 didn't come out so well. That's side 4. It's fine, no problems. But then side 3, you can see the bubbling, the slight tear there as it kind of tears on the paper sleeve. Not so good in terms of the labeling there. But now I could return it, but this album is not so easy to find. So the albums play fine, so I'm okay with that. But worth checking out. Bad, Bad, Not Good. And it's interesting, when I had ordered it, it came opened, but simply in this bag with the sticker there. But that's the way it arrived. So interesting. Okay, this one got kind of quietly released. This is the anniversary edition of Hendrix Band of Gypsies. Now, I've shown you the box sets that came out, celebrating it with songs for groovy children, both the CD and the vinyl box sets. But they also did release a vinyl copy of it, and this is a particular master of it. And I'll see if I can find the hype sticker for you. Pop that out of here. So here's the hype sticker. And it's the 50th anniversary, of course. This is the first ever U.S. release of the 2010 remaster 180-gram audiophile black vinyl. Features 8-page booklet with liner notes and 24 by 36 poster. So this, as I understand, this is an analog master or remaster of it under the direction of Eddie Kramer, I believe. And the sound is great on here. So it's the nice original gatefold, because it's interesting. Often I see this without this album without the gatefold. I think it was the later, cheaper reissues. So the sound is great on here, and nice custom label. And nice lined sleeves like this. And we'll check out the poster is huge. It's great. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see all of this in the camera shot, but the poster is just great. I don't know if you can see all that there. And of course, this is an official release through the Experience Hendrix label, and a very nice booklet that's included as well. Not terribly extensive, but nice LP size booklet. It gives you a little bit of a write-up. Not too bad. Okay, and such a wonderful album to listen to, and the sound I think is really quite good. Okay, how about some Willie Dixon? Willie Dixon, I Am the Blues, and certainly that he is. This came out on Columbia, and this is Willie Dixon, who's not generally known for singing. He's the great blues writer for Chess Records, and of course, writing great songs for Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, etc. But here he is doing his own material. And Willie Dixon hasn't got a great voice, but he's got a good voice. I quite enjoy it. And there's actually a few Willie Dixon albums out. I hadn't realized there were quite so many. But this is a really nice one. This came out on Columbia. Okay, Willie Dixon, I Am the Blues. Okay, how about a Canadian band this time? The band Harlequin. This was a band from Winnipeg originally, and they are still going. This was their first album from 1979. They had kind of a nice rock sound, but very radio friendly rock sound. The song Survive was the hit from this one. Interesting cover. This is a Hypnosis design cover. Now, Hypnosis designed great albums for 10cc, Pink Floyd, but yeah, they also did this one for the Canadian band Harlequin. And so this was their very first album from 1979. They would have a lot of radio hits. Certainly with their second album, Love Crimes, they would have a number of radio hits. Okay, and on the Epic label. Yeah, worth checking out. Just nice Canadian rock, but pretty radio friendly. And speaking of Canadian rock, how about Rush's Exit Stage Left? This is their double live album from 1981 that pretty much spotlights albums like Moving Pictures, Permanent Waves, Hemispheres, Farewell to Kings. But the cover is quite nice because they spotlight all of their albums in terms of different images through the cover. And I'll just cover that up there. But yeah, I really do like the cover for here. The sound quality on this, I think, is okay. I do still prefer their first live album. The sound is okay, but it's interesting reading a little bit more about this album. That they were pleased at the time, but looking back, they weren't totally happy with the sound. The audience is quite. Brought down in the mix, but overall, having said that, it's still very good and very enjoyable. And nice extended version of YYZ on here. And nice on the Anthem label in Canada, nice designed labels there. But great, great song listings there. Can't go wrong. Okay, trying to increase my Santana collection. We've got this Santana album. Now, I don't know if the original had much more of a sort of a metallic cover, a more design cover. This is likely just a later issue on Columbia. And very enjoyable. Santana's guitar, wonderful on here. And I do love the design on the sleeve. And on Columbia. But yeah, really nice album overall. I just think Santana is great. If Santana, I just tend to grab it. But I think the early editions of this had a more of a reflective cover. I could be wrong on that. Okay, a little jazz for you this time. Miles Davis. This is, of course, the classic Kind of Blue, and this is on blue colored vinyl. And I'm pretty sure Steve Carlson has maybe shown this one. Can't quite remember, but the sound is really nice on this one, and the vinyl is pretty fun to look at too. And with the old style Columbia label there, what can you say? Finally got a chance to see the Miles Davis documentary, the PBS one, because for PBS for online in Canada, they often block it for Canada when they put it online. So I was able to finally. Can't remember where I watched it. I think maybe it was on one of the Amazon or something like that. But it was able to find, or no, it was on Netflix Canada. So I was able to finally watch the Miles Davis documentary and really enjoyed it. I know some weren't too keen on it, especially with Miles Davis. There's so much material, but I thought overall that they did a really good job. And yeah, let's wrap it up with a little bit more jazz. How about a reissue of John Coltrane, The Believer. And this is on Jazz Classics, on, Wax Time. You know, and you can't get enough John Coltrane. And this one includes a nice little leaflet, if you will. Again, as we've talked about with some of these reissues, boy, they can't get for any more plainer labels on some of these reissues. Like, the music is wonderful, the music sounds great, but boy, the label reissues are so plain. But this is a nice little booklet that's included that shows you some of the jazz albums available on this reissue, the 180 grams. Like, so many great albums. Look at that. Worth checking out. Okay, so that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll chat again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.